Hello again, guys and girls, the Gears of War community. Welcome back to another Gears of War 3 gameplay commentary. Today, I want to tell you guys my EGL story, or at least part of it, because I am very, very doubtful that I would ever be able to get through the entire story in one 7-minute gameplay. But still, 7 minutes on the clock. Let's see what we can get done. I think I'm going to do the pre-EGL Friday and Saturday, maybe just Friday. So yeah, first I wanted to go through the nightmare we had before EGL. So we got the game, or we pretty much all of us got the game on the 20th, except for maybe Redden, I think got it on the 21st. And basically, yeah, so we got the game, we started practicing. We didn't really get scrimming until the 22nd, I think it was, which is when we really started scrimming, which was when the rule sets started getting figured out and stuff, and we started scrimming on like the 22nd, and then we scrimmed for like 3 days straight. Not, I wouldn't say casually, but we scrimmed a lot. And so eventually we started getting to the last few days. We started picking it up, and it must have been, let's say, the 25th. We all came on, we're like, okay, let's start really doing this stuff. Let's start really figuring out what we want to do. Codhead had to move out of his university accommodation, and he moved back with his father. And then on the same day, on that day, he kind of couldn't really get on as much. And then eventually came on like 3 hours after the other guys had gone off, and we were just like, well, we lost that day's worth of scrimming. The 26th comes around, and Codhead gets, I think that's my brother raging. The 26th comes around, and Codhead gets kicked out of his accommodation by his father. So we're sitting there like, oh no, we can't scrim on the 26th. The 27th comes around, Codhead gets back on. And what happens? Oh yeah, Redden breaks his disc by accidentally knocking over his console, or something like that happened. His console fell over and it shredded his disc, so he couldn't play. And eventually he gets a new disc, but by then it's just like, nah. So we had about 4 days worth of scrimming in, and we should have had about 7, so that was a nightmare. So we turn up on the Thursday, or excuse me, on the Thursday. We'll start travelling down, and instead of taking the bus, which would have taken me another 11 hours like it did at EGL9, I decided to take the train this time. It took me about 6.5 hours to get all the way to Manchester, and then Fruz drove us up from there, who we were joined by Finchy at the time, because Redden, he got a flight in, which took him 45 minutes, the bastard. He got a flight in, then he went straight to the hotel we were staying at. And we also had Finchy boy staying with us, or for that night at least. So we drove him up with us. So it was me, Finchy, Codhead, and Fruz in the car. We're all driving up. The songs start playing. The crazy stuff starts happening. We start screaming in the car. Yeah, we're just having a good time. Eventually we get there, and we're just like, right, we're going out tonight, aren't we? And everybody's just like, yeah, we're going out. So everybody starts changing into their going outy stuff, even though it doesn't really matter. It's Blackpool. The women there, no offence to any people from Blackpool, but the majority of the women there aren't the nicest of people, at least on the looking side. So yeah, we just chilled. We went out. We did a little bit of pre-drinking in. Well, they did a little bit of pre-drinking with the spoons. I don't drink. I drank a little bit because they're all like, yeah, go on, you know, friendly peer pressure, but I held my ground. So yeah, we're going out, we're having fun. We had a lot of chicken that night. We had McDonald's, I had chicken at McDonald's, we had Nando's, I had chicken at Nando's, obviously, because that's all they sell there. And yeah, so eventually we come back to the hotel at like 2 in the morning, like creeping up there. Codhead screaming at people while we're creeping up the steps, and that was just another great night out. So Friday comes around, we come in, we only had 2 matches on Friday. Well, we had the free-for-all tournament beforehand. Dark Frag won that tournament, and he played like I can't really say it on a commentary because it's too mean, but still, he played like a bastard. And yeah, so I think he was running around with a Lancer or something and just cleaning up fights between people having a Nasher and stuff. So, yeah, he won the tournament. And it was basically like 5 or 6 French people out of the 8 who were in the final match. So, it was ridiculous. And then we finally got into the actual group stages themselves, which are basically a bunch of matches where everybody plays everybody, and it decides who gets to play who in the brackets. And the first few matches, we only had 2 matches that day. The first one was against Essence. We won 2-0. They came in with not a clue what to expect. They didn't really bring the right equipment. They didn't have headsets, so they couldn't hear Jack, and it was just crazy. Like, they just couldn't hear anything. They couldn't play. They couldn't hear in game. So Essence turned up completely unprepared, and basically they got slaughtered all throughout EGL. But I think they won one match. So, you know, props to them for winning a match without any of the right equipment. So, yeah, our first match was against them. Won 2-0. Second match was against X's, and we lost 2-0. Oh, no. Essence, we won 2-1. X's, we lost 2-0. But the second map was so close, it was unbelievable. And just a quick mention, Essence got the game 4 days before everybody else. They had about 2 weeks' worth of scrimming, and they lost twice to NTC, and their final win was really lucky. So I'm just saying, a bit of a disappointment that a team had almost twice as much scrimming time than everybody else, but still lost twice to NTC. Not that NTC are bad or anything, but yeah, they lost twice. But yeah, I think that's the end of the gameplay. We'll go on to part 2 tomorrow. Please check in for that. But for now, guys, thank you for watching, and goodbye.